Hello cuties, CutieGhostface here, and with Scream 6 releasing in 9 days, I feel like it's time to talk about one of the most important things about cosplaying Ghostface, and that is the robe. For this video, I'll be talking about robes. In another one, I'll go in depth about masks and accessories and pretty much anything else related to Ghostface, but for now, we're just gonna stick with the robe. This video will be separated into 3 parts. Based on your budget, and if you have time to buy the stuff, the robe, because buying a high quality robe might take you months, and of course the movie releases in a little bit over a week, so I don't yeah. So without wasting too much time, let's get into today's video. Now for the low budget version, and this is meant, a quick buy, something that you can buy from Amazon, you can buy it from Crypt Keepers, you can pretty much buy it at any Halloween store, and that is the basic costume. This costume is made of polyester, it's the easiest one you can get. Spirit Halloween sells it, Amazon has it, pretty much any Halloween costume store has it, as long as it's in stock. So make sure you call your local Halloween store if your local Halloween store is open year round. It does come with a hard plastic mask, so that's one of the positives. It is a bib, so make sure you tuck it in, or reshroud the bib in general. I will make a video on that at some point. But yeah, I mean, the hard plastic mask in itself is a very good positive note. The hard plastic mask is really sought after because a lot of people like to customize it. That's besides the point. I'm getting off topic already. So this robe can vary from $30 to $40, so it's pretty low budget if that's what you're looking for. It's not a crazy expensive either. It's a decent material. You can see cosplayers use it pretty much all the time. The one that I can think of right now would be ScreamForGhosty. He tends to use it for his TikToks. He of course uses an ultra white mask, but the mask thing is reserved for another episode, another video. I'm gonna stop talking. Let's hop into the next budget. So this next part is reserved for people that don't really want to spend too much, but they also have some money that they're willing to spend. And for that, I'm going to recommend the 25th anniversary robe. It's extremely popular, it's extremely beautiful, and thankfully I'm an owner of one of them. You can actually see it in a lot of my TikToks and a lot of my Instagram posts if you look closely. It's a sparkle robe, so it's very close to the original 1 through 4. If you're trying to go as accurate to Scream 5 and 6, then don't get the sparkle robe, since the sparkle robe is, sparkly. 5 and 6 does have some sparkle, but nowhere near as much as the original 4 movies. However, one of the big issues about this is that, scalpers tend to get their hands on this. So it's going to be very difficult, so your price range will vary from $60 to $100. And another thing that you want to keep in mind is, for some reason, the dye that they used for this robe will stain your masks. I don't know why Funroll does this, but they do this quite a lot. The dye that they use for the robe stains your masks and ruins them. So if you're going to end up using, one of your favorite masks, please don't. Please don't ruin your mask. From what I've heard, the dye does transfer to other masks, but it's not bacteria. But I've also heard that it doesn't transfer, so I'm not quite sure which version. So it's just, to be on the safe route, just be careful and don't use this robe with your fancy masks. Use it with a bootleg, use it with an ultra white, use it with anything else but your high quality masks. You can pretty much find this anywhere, like Crypt Keepers if you're in the US, you can find this in Mad About Horror if you're in the UK, but again, it's going to be very difficult to find, especially at this time of season with the movie coming out. So just keep that in mind. Another place you can check out would be eBay. That's where I got mine, actually. I got it from eBay at the time because, scalping prices were high and I wasn't really willing to spend $100, but I did manage to find one for the OG $60 price. So I've been talking too much about the 25th anniversary. Let's hop into the next budget. Now, this one is probably going to be even longer than the previous one, so just stick with me. This is the no budget section. This is $450 plus for just the robe. So again, you want to keep in mind that this is the highest quality robe that you can make, and there are so many different versions. Actually, in fact, there are a total of 6 different robes. Because, you know, you have Scream 1, then Scream 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because they all vary. It's tiny changes, but they all vary. Now, I'm going to separate these two parts because Scream 1 through 4 are all sparkle robes. Scream 5 and 6, they all look completely different from the original 4. So for now, let's just hop into Scream 1 and 4, and then I'll get to Scream 5 and 6. For Scream 1 and 4, I highly recommend going ScreamRobes. They make some of the highest quality robes. That's where mine is from, actually. ScreamRobes made my robe. And the best part about these, it will be made to your size. So if you're somebody that's like, let's say you're 5'4", like me, you'll be able to get one made to your size. But if you are 6 foot, they will make it for somebody that's 6 foot. So, you know, they custom tailor it to your liking. They're perfect. They're absolutely amazing, the robes. They feel high quality. If you want to go for the route for Scream 1996, go for it. I would suggest, if, you know, since it's already kind of too late and you're barely ordering it, just hold on a little bit, because I have heard that ScreamRobes will be releasing a better fabric for the 96 version, which is more accurate to the movie than we've ever had. So that's an extremely positive thing. Scream 2, which is the one that I have, is in my opinion, I like that robe because of the Velcro. The Scream 3 has these little buttons on it, but I think it still has Velcro, I'm not sure. But it's still a good mask. I'm completely off. It's still a good robe. So just remember, keep that in mind. Every single version is different, so do your research. I believe Scream 3 and 4 are somewhat similar, but still, do your research. Make sure that you're getting the robe version that you really want. Other ones that you can contact is BurkBench and Public Enemy Studios. Public Enemy Studios has a website. BurkBench is also on Instagram. ScreamRobes and BurkBench work on Instagram and Facebook. So if you really want to get a robe, make sure you have either one of those two platforms. Public Enemy Studios, that's a website. Now, from what I've heard, all of these robes are extremely different. So ScreamRobes is the most accurate, and it feels amazing. I don't personally own a BurkBench or a PS, but from what I've heard, BurkBench is extremely like satin, so it's kind of like super soft. It feels kind of like a pillowcase, if that makes sense. And Public Enemy, I've heard that it's really scratchy. None of these are going to damage your masks if that's something that you're worried about. It's just the feel. So again, do your research. Look for the best one. I believe they are all pretty much similar price points, $450 to $460. But just keep that in mind. It just depends on what you want and how much time you have. But these will all take you roughly a couple months if it's being like custom made. One of the ways that you can get one in less than probably 9 days would be eBay. I've seen them floating around eBay a couple times from old collectors, and you'll usually see them for like maybe half the price. So again, if you are still in a kind of tight budget but you want to get one of these, check eBay. But again, it's gonna be difficult to find one your size, because it's specific to the person. But just go ahead, contact them on Instagram, contact them on Facebook, whatever you have. They're amazing creators. For Scream 5 and 6, I will recommend 2 people. But first, I'm going to recommend the one that my friend went with, and his name is Ghostface Collector Finn on Instagram, or also known as Ari. I think that's how you pronounce their name. So one thing you want to keep in mind is 5 and 6, those robes are completely different from 1 and 4, obviously. They look more handmade, if that makes sense. The gloves are separate, so you wouldn't look for gloves. It doesn't come with gloves. The gloves aren't built into the costume, unlike the 1 and 4 version. Ghost Collector Finn makes those robes look absolutely stunning. For reference, check out ScreamPremium on Instagram. He makes Ghostface content, but he has Ari's robe, and the way that it looks on camera, it is stunning. So please, if you have the money for it and you want to go for a Scream 5 or 6 robe, go with Ari. I highly recommend him. He is super nice. He is super sweet. He is an amazing person. And just go for Ari, man. Just trust me, you will not regret going for Ari. Another person you can go for, I've never tried this person out. Again, I don't personally own a Scream 5 or 6 robe, but I have heard this from NoxHorrorCosplay. NelCosplay is known on Etsy to have Scream 5 robe. I'm not sure about Scream 6, but you can contact him about it. Now, the difference between the 5 and the 6 is just minor changes. The size of the hood, the size of the tassels, pretty much just tiny changes that somebody might not really even notice. So if you would just rather go for the 5 version instead of the 6, because not everyone's gonna have the 6 yet, go for the 5. I think Ari has the 6, or at least he's working on it. Just, it's completely okay. It's gonna be a minor change that nobody will really notice unless you're like paying super close attention. But yeah. Anyways, I believe ScreamRobes has them as well. It has the Scream 5 and the 6 version, but I'm not super sure. I'm not gonna go ahead and promise you that they do, so might as well contact them personally. But anyways, now that's pretty much it for the robes. If you want to see a video on the masks, please make sure you leave a like. I'm probably gonna do it anyways, but leave a like, subscribe, and that would be highly appreciated. And yeah, please. And this, by the way, this entire video was thanks to ScreamPremium, NoxHorrorCosplay, and 713Ghostface, all on Instagram. These guys are super amazing people. These are all my friends, and they've helped me quite a lot when it comes to this. So please check them out, give them a follow, give them likes on pretty much everything. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut up now. If you need any more help with anything, please contact me directly on Instagram as well. If you need any help with anything and help identifying a mask, I'm there. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut up now, and good luck on finding a robe.